Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about how to apply for cruise ship jobs online. I'm going to take you through a 5-step process that you can use to apply for cruise ship jobs and succeed in that process. So if you find this information to be useful, you can consider subscribing to my channel. You can also give me a thumbs up, and without wasting too much time, let's look at what are these steps. So number one, the first thing when you want to apply for a cruise ship job is to decide whom you want to work for. You have to decide the cruise ship line that you want to make your application. So once you have decided, and before we go to that completion of the decision, now you should find out is that recruiter posting the jobs on the website or on the jobs board. Now most cruise ship lines have employment pages. If you visit their websites, you'll look at the careers page, and you'll be able to make an application on that page. So once you are on the careers page, you are supposed to follow the instruction or the preferred method of submitting your application. Now some cruise lines may require you to email your resume direct and cover letter, or they may give you a specific address where you're supposed to send your application. So you have to be careful, you have to take note of that as you do your application. So that is the first step. Now you have decided who is the employer. The next step is to prepare a customized resume and cover letter. So what do we mean by customizing your resume and cover letter? So the first point you need to note is that you should start your resume with a clear and concise heading, which should include your name, contact information, and the job position you are applying for. Then the second point is that you need to customize your resume to showcase your qualifications. If you are applying for a job of or the position of a chef, you need to state that you are qualified, you undergone training, and you have some work experience so that you can be considered for that position. Then it's also important to note that you should use bullet points when you are highlighting your job experience, education, and skills. These are the three most important and critical sections of your resume, and you should ensure that they are clear and well organized. So that will be the second step. Then the third step you should follow when you are doing your application is to select a professional looking photo that you will include in your application. Now, to choose a professional photo, make sure that you have a good photo that is appropriate, that will be impressive to the recruiting officer. So just a tip, you need to smile in that photo and show that you are enthusiastic and positive about work. Then you should also take note that if you are applying for a specific job role, you should consider using a photo that will showcase your skills and experience. Then lastly, you keep the file. Once you've chosen your photo, you ensure that you keep the size. The size of the photo should be kept to at least a minimum or maximum of 300 KB, so that you ensure that it is easy to upload. Now the common file formats that are used for photos are the JPEG or PNG. So you ensure that your photo is in that particular format. Step 4 is that once you've made your application, you've submitted your application, you should try and follow up. You should follow the application instructions. Before we go to submitting, you should follow the instructions as outlined by the recruiting company. So some cruise ship lines may ask you to complete an online application, while others you will be required to send your resume and cover letter to a specific email address. So you make sure that you have read the instructions and you understand them before you hit the submit button. Then you should double check and ensure that you've included all the necessary information and documents that they have asked. Then we have the final step, which is number 5, is to follow up with the application. Now, following up with an application is important, and you can do that by writing a follow-up email, or you can make a follow-up call to the cruise ship line HR department within a week after you've submitted your application. Then you should reiterate your interest. You should stress or emphasize your interest in the job, and ask if there's any update on the application status. Then finally, what are some of the success tips that can guide you in your journey towards applying for a cruise ship job? So the success tip number 1 is that you ensure that after submitting your application, you can consider sending a physical application. That is, you put your resume and cover letter in an envelope and make your way to the physical office. For example, if you are in Kenya, you may want to try submitting the application to the cruise ship line in Mombasa, and this can increase your chances of being hired. So then another tip is that you have to be aware of potential scams when you are applying for these cruise ship jobs. So you have to be aware and apply only through legitimate cruise ship line websites or authorized hiring partners. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you success as you apply for your cruise ship jobs. Thank you so much once again, and see you in the next video.